What's up, Internet? It's your boy Stephan van Kuyk with another one of these artist talks. In these conversations, we aim to go deep into the business side of these artists' practice, distilling the strategies and tricks that they use to get where they are today, and how you can apply these tips into growing your own art practice. Today we're going to be talking with John Bishop. He's an amazing photographer and fine artist from Houston, and we're going to be talking about branding for artists and how to use that to differentiate yourself and make your art practice stand out from the rest. Welcome to Artists Stop Being Poor, a club for visual creators across the globe, working together to grow our creative careers by educating, empowering, and driving you to reach all your wildest career goals. Connect, share your works, tips, and inspiration, and let's grow together to become the best artists we can be. The myth of the starving artist is bullshit, so let's work together to become thriving artists. Guiding you on this path, your host, me, Stephan van Kuyk. Guys, thanks for joining again. We're doing these artist interviews. So normally I would get these guys all together in a gallery and just come, you need to meet this artist. You need to meet him, her, they. But that's not happening anytime soon. So today I have John Bishop with me, who I met through the internet, the powerful internet. And he attracted my attention by the easiest way possible. Flattery. He told me that I was cool and that he liked what I was doing and that he wanted to have me on his vlog. So like the quickest way to my heart is through food or flattery. So you choose. Welcome, John. It's nice to see you again. How have you been?
Thank you so much, and you've been very sincere. Delighted to be here. Listen, I have followed you since that time, and I find what you're doing amazing, and the way that you are so open with the people that you deal with, and you give so freely, and I wanted to thank you for that. Here we go with the flattery again. See?
You really want to take my heart away. But yeah, I was just talking about this earlier today. I think that the art world is so filled with bullshit. Like, so much. Like, up to the brim. There's no place for more bullshit. So,
Yeah.
and I don't have fancy parents. I don't have fancy collection artists in the family. I don't have museum directs. I don't have connections with anybody. So when I started my art career, not like 10, 13, 12 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody grabbed me by the arm and said like, hey, this is how you artist. I just kind of had to figure it all by myself, and it kind of sounds a little bit, utopic, but I didn't want any other artist to have to go through what I've been through. And that sounds like bullshit on itself, but it really is how I feel. And I think that just, you figure out something some way and, you share that knowledge and somebody says like, oh yeah, I love that idea. I remixed your idea into this or that, grab, inspire, copy, it's just like the way we need to do it.
And the idea that there's some sort of competition between artists to me is so false.
Yeah.
Obviously, I will never do the work you do, and you'll never do the work I do. We appeal to different buyers.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
look at our backgrounds.
Yeah, I mean, come on, we're not in competition. So why not share the good news and the strategy? To me, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
The
well,
problem is that there's one.
I'm familiar with your work, but the internet might not be as familiar as I am. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
I paint. I work mostly with abstract. I also do some illustration. I was 30 years as a children's librarian all over the world. And so I also write children's books and do illustrations and zines as well. So I've got that kind of publishing bit behind me. But I painted in college and then I stopped because the world told me that grown-ups don't do that. So now I've moved back home about 5, 6 years ago to help out with my parents. And we started up, my husband and I started a video production and photography company, and now we're breaking into, he's doing his fine art and I'm doing my fine art, returning to painting.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple of starts because it takes a while to build that business of the video and photography, and that is now kind of taking off on its own and allows us to now relax and do some of our fine art.
Yeah. And what parallels and difference would you say that you notice from commission video photography work and your own artwork illustrations? I know that Bogdan is a photographer, so what kind of parallels you notice when you're doing art? Or
I should just say that I'm a photographer too.
Mm.
It's just back. So I kind of get lost in that. But the one thing I notice through the commercial work is that it's just not as much fun. I mean, you have to. I mean, it's like doing commissions or commissions, art commissions. That they're the customer. They get to decide, and sometimes they're really, really dumb. Sometimes create video content that is absolutely disgusting, and you just do it because that's what they're paying you for. And that soul sucking in many ways. And so the beauty of the fine art is you get to create what you want because you want to, and it touches a different part of you, I think. Not to say that the other work isn't rewarding. It's just not as fulfilling as the fine art stuff.
Yeah. It's like personally, I like doing commission work just because I have like a very strong relationship with money. I love it. So it's nice to know that you're getting paid for an artwork of some sorts. But it's also like it could be like a vicious cycle-ish kind of thing, where you're only doing commission work after commission work after commission work after commission work. And it's like, I'm gonna be fucking honest here. I've been in that for the last 2 years. It's always like, oh, I'm doing this artwork for this exhibition and this project for that and this for this and this for the client and whatnot. And I've really been missing the situation of sitting down and doing my own art, and it's just a question that how you can find the balance on that, because the commission works are a secure source of income, while the artwork, you need to make it, frame it, promote it, distribute it, then sell it. So it's like it's as I say, like, to maybe starting artists, like, there's no shame on getting a part-time or a full-time job to finance your career. I've done it. I worked in a call center. It was soul-sucking. It was horrible. It was nasty. But it gave me the freedom to really, really do the art without having to focus on the financial side of it at the beginning of it. Now, the financial side is very important because it's what pays the bills. But at the beginning, it was very valuable for my experimentation phase, to try out new styles and new techniques that I could test in the market-wise, and then, see what works, what the public likes, what I like doing too, and building an art career around that.
I think one of the pitfalls we run into is because we do commercial photography and video, it's hard for us to create material for ourselves about art because we want to give it more attention than we have, and make it slicker than we can afford the time to make it. So we're in a constant battle. We're doing all the online stuff because of COVID.
Yeah.
Got our website stores, and we do sell on Saatchi and Etsy and things like that. So we're doing as much as we can with that. We are building some. We also have studios here it's called Sawyer Yards here in Houston. It's a series of 6 buildings with about 400 artists, and
I gotta come visit.
yeah, it's great. It's great. In our particular building, there's about 60 artists, and so we have opportunities for exhibitions and events and things like that. Of course, COVID came, everything shut down, but I've just gotten my own studio from Bogdan has his, and I have mine now, and mine actually opens up to the street, so we're going to be able to have things in the evening and really start doing that kind of outreach. Which we haven't been able to do because of the pandemic.
Yeah, and I think, that I don't know what the restrictions in the US are, but here, for example, private events are limited to 25 people, and I imagine that given the situation in the US, it must be like even more stricter than that. But, having that smaller amount of people come in allows for a more personal situation where you can really talk. Has it ever happened that you have like a exhibition opening and there's like 50, 60, 200 people and you cannot really talk with anybody, but, the day after 3 people come in and you have actually like a great conversation and you make a great emotional connection regarding your work that would have been like totally impossible under other circumstances. So I think, the pandemic sucks, sucks a lot. But there's nothing we can do as individuals against it. I was like, I'm not going to go and start researching corona vaccines because, I'm not, I don't know. I don't even know who researches vaccines, so it's like a biologist, a virologist, whatever. So, the only thing I can do is like social distance, wear a mask and, focus on my own shit and not go crazy. So that's what I've been trying to do. And
the excitement of the new kind of technologies that are coming out and how responsive people are being.
Mm-hmm.
I know here in Houston who just did their kind of online exhibition, and they sold better than they had sold the previous years.
Yeah, it's like I had
works.
Yeah, and I think like thank God this happened in 2020 and not 2001 or something, because the internet was not ready for that kind of stuff. But I think that maybe last year at this time the same structures were in place, but if you told somebody, hey, come to my virtual vernissage, it was like, what the fuck? It's like, just like invite me to a gallery or something. Like, what the fuck is a virtual vernissage? But like, since everything went virtual, I think that they're more open to receive these things, to online concerts, online theater, virtual visiting rooms, all of that. People are just more open to those platforms and those formats just because it's affecting all of us. People are accustomed of having their job meetings in Zoom, so we have our little artists get together via Zoom too. So.
And it's amazing, people who are remote. I mean, Eloise lives in a beautiful tropical island, and she can be in Berlin.
Yeah.
It's amazing how the doors are open. Now, that has its own difficulties as far as creating sales channels and things like that. But man, technology has really opened some doors.
Yeah, and
let's do with them.
And I think the art world has been like surprisingly stubborn to accept these things. The selling art online, it's like I cannot believe it. It's just begun to be a thing, like this year with the corona. Tell me a little bit about how you're dealing with distribution and sales of your work online.
Well, right now we have gotten it all set up. We do not sell much online.
Mm-hmm.
We still sell from people who come into the gallery. Or from shows when we're up on an exhibition.
Yeah.
I pretty much every time there's an exhibition, I'll sell a couple of things off the wall. Now Bogdan has had better luck with his exhibitions. But again, everything shut down.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do quite a few things that got canceled. But our online sales are very, very low. I mean, and again, it goes back to the family and friends thing. People just say, I didn't know you painted.
Yeah.
I'll buy a $50 8x10.
Yeah, but I think, that it's very important that you have the structure put in place. That's the basic, Now it's a question of first educating your existing audience, so by, uh, email blast, video introduction saying like, hey, I've been doing this type of work. You know me as a commercial photographer and videographer. I've been doing this for X years, and now I want to put more effort into my passion, and this is my passion. Bam, little painting, if you're saying that you're having this problem where people do not view you as an artist or as a painter, say it. It's like, make a video out of it. I've seen your videos. Your videos are great. So you're not gonna have any trouble there. I think that's the first part. Then I don't think it would be completely inappropriate if you contact your commercial clients and show them what you're doing on the side. It's like, especially because you're a charismatic guy and it's like a two-person media company, so they had a strong relationship with you and Bogdan directly. So I would definitely do that.
Okay.
And think a little bit about what acquisition strategies you were doing for the commercial work and how you can translate that into acquisition strategies for the artwork. So I would go definitely with a funnel situation where you run some Facebook or Instagram ads just to put your art practice and your art products in front of more people, and then capture emails and sell for there. I would definitely think that would be a good option to go. Especially if you're doing photography, it might be very beneficial to look into print on demand alternatives, because then you can really offer like a very large catalog of photos of images without the added investment or initial investment of having to print all of this before selling it. So it's a little bit what I've been doing with the Artist Stop Being Poor gallery. We don't have the budget to print artworks from every artist that we have just in case they sell. So we created a platform where every artwork is specifically printed for the client. So if you buy artwork XYZ in size medium, that's printed for you. And it cost me nothing to offer that in medium, large, and small, and 150 other artworks, and it's a good opportunity to develop art merchandising as well. I know some artists are a little bit iffy with that idea, but postcards, calendars, whatnot. It's just a question of having it for sale. And then you can easily link depending on which website provider you have, it might be a little bit more tricky or less tricky, but you can connect that with your Facebook catalog of products. And then you can use your Instagram to actually sell artworks. You just tag your Instagram with the products, and people can buy directly from your Instagram. So running some ads with that, generating traffic from your website, getting brand awareness, because you're a brand now. So so getting that, and it's like a 360 circle. You attract new people, they get acquainted, they see something they love, they buy, and you just need to add more and more people to this machine in a regular way. And 20 years ago, it would be like hosting a million exhibitions and getting new people on the door right now. And now it's just help Mark Zuckerberg buy his new house and he'll do it for you. Which is horrible because honestly, fuck Zuckerberg. But
I don't know. He buys art, right?
well, yeah, but also his platforms help genocides in Myanmar. So
Yeah, good point. Well taken.
okay, John, any last questions that I can help you with?
only thing I had noticed, I don't know if you've run into, is we think that our what is helping our business now is the fact that we are splitting a bit in the way we present ourselves, because we find that the people who are looking at photography are not looking at paintings, and vice versa. And so the fact that we're giving some distance between them allows us to build our own audiences for each of us.
From you and Bogdan, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's less confusing for the collector.
Yeah. It also could be an amazing story, you know, if you're able to tell the story well and say like, yeah, this is me and my hubby. We make art. He does photos. I do painting. It's an amazing story, but it could be a little bit complex to understand from the viewer's point of view without going, you know, very in depth of it. But I think that that's a question that, yeah, you can just run it as two parallel businesses, you know,
Right.
John Bishop, Bogdan, Mihai, and you can
One bank account. So.
yeah, and you can empower each other, you know. You're probably brainstorming and sharing success stories on a daily basis, you know. So and at the end of the day, the structure for the business will be very similar. I think that the only main difference that I would see right now is the people that you will be targeting with your Instagram and Facebook ads, you know.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of like the same person. You're going to be target like X amount income individuals that like museums, that like galleries, you know, when you put the interests on the thingy on the page of the Facebook ads, it's kind of like the same thing. And at the end of the day, the algorithm itself will analyze the people that clicked on your ad or clicked on Bogdan's ad and just show it to more people that are similar to that, you know. So at the end of the day, kind of the algorithm ends up doing part of the work for you, but yeah, but I think that it's just a question of having like a clear brand statement for each one of you and a clear brand identity per se. But you know, you can just give shout outs on Instagram to each other and, you know, have a link on each other's website and whatnot, you know, and then exhibit a bunch together, you know.
Exactly.
You guys still there? I ran out of battery.
I haven't sold online, I've sold in person, you know, so this whole online thing is new to me. And yeah, sometimes I'm feeling a bit intimidated by it, you know.
Yeah, and it takes.
I think
obviously it takes time. I mean,
Yeah.
we did this. We got started late. We were building websites for other people, but we didn't really worry about ours. And
Yeah.
so when COVID hit, we had no real online sales presence, and
Yeah.
we've been working on little else for the last 8 months, and we are starting. I mean, I'm getting people about one a day. People signing up on my website for my news.
Okay.
And I'm like, where are these people coming from? Who cares? They're coming.
Well,
Exactly.
that's complicated. You need to assess where these people are coming from and double down.
A period of time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's back.
Now he's coming back.
I'm back.
Yay!
My computer ran out of battery. Okay, John. What were we talking about before we got disconnected?
Oh no, we were just talking about the kind of splitting the two of us and doing
Yeah.
our own market, presenting actually doubling our exposure because we're not one unit, we're two. I think it will help us.
Yeah, and it's just a question of having two individual art brands, working parallelly. And the thing is, you're not a competition to each other. That's very important. And that, you will be two people figuring out things at the same time and just growing from there. So it's like having two CEOs on a company, two CEOs on two different companies that kind of like work on the same niche,
Right.
And then it can always be, that somebody that reaches to Bogdan wants paintings and vice versa, and then you have that to share. Okay, then, John, I'd like to thank you for joining us in this very impromptu interview session. If you want to hear more about amazing artists and how they do the stuff they do, there's going to be more interviews coming.
If you enjoyed this interview, be sure to check the link on the description. There's a lot of more information about how you can grow your art career. And if you are one of these starving artists, join our club, be part of our community, and let's work together to become awesome artists. See you next time.